changes in the op order by a fragmentary order before the 8th of April?
Correct. It was frag order 8 to op order 2 tag 04. This here was we received word from the Deuce, the battalion Deuce, that there's going to be a human source and reliable sources and intelligence reports stating that there's going to be a huge influx of insurgent activity. It was sent out through flyers going into the city, word of mouth saying, hey, stay clear of the streets or whatnot, and it was going to escalate starting 7 April all the way through. And also this is the same time as well that the attacks in Fallujah and Ramadi were starting to increase, so naturally it was going to be there's a trickle down effect or a trend that if it was going to happen there, just like I said earlier, if it happened in Fallujah or Ramadi, chances are that it could happen within the next 3 days or the next 3 weeks in other various AOs, ours being one of them. And that's exactly what happened. I'm looking at the order right here, saying coordinator takes a plan. It's most likely that they're going to be a combination of IED and small arms attacks at foot mobile traffic. Well, 8 April we definitely had multiple IED attacks, and on the 14th we had both a combination of IED and small arms attacks. Coordinated ambush from 3 different locations. One down near checkpoint 69, one down the water treatment facility, and one at the arches right between the HK triangle. I mean, the writing's on the wall there. So that intel report was definitely Johnny on the spot, more or less to say that. So what we did to counter it was saturate the area, back up to platoon size, patrols again, trying to see if the enemy's going to show his hand. Figure if you send enough ash through there, it'll flush the enemy out. But the enemy, for him to be effective, he needs to be small and he needs to have standoff, which is essentially what he done on the 8th, 14th, and on up. That's when he got a little confident and decided to show his hand. Okay, so on the moving to the 14th, what was the going on with the enemy situation as best you can recall by the 14th? Once again, as much as we were focusing offensively on fighting the enemy, the battalion was definitely doing a very heavy, work through some military affairs piece. Hopefully trying to, uproot the insurgency that way. Get the sheikhs, get the city council to push everyone to push these insurgents out of the area to kind of counter it. So meanwhile, we're doing heavy offensive patrolling with OPs or whatnot, trying to find the enemy. Blade 6 is talking to the city council. Well, 14th, we're doing that, and the enemy starts to hit us on all fronts. He hits our offensive patrols, down here at checkpoint 69 near the crack house. He's also trying to hit the colonel and whatnot, as they're coming into the city, down there at the arches, on the border between us and Kilo's zone.
So can you point out on the map the places that the major contacts took place on the 14th?
Major contacts took place long route train here near checkpoint 69, the crack house. You also got down out here by the arches, coming in, there's an ambush, where battalion Blade 6 where he was hit. And then eventually the fight, kind of trickled down here into the water treatment facility where this is generally around the area here where Dunham was killed. He jumped on the grenade. What you'll see is that a lot of the activity, because initially this is where we thought the focus of the enemy was, a lot of the activity will start to develop around here, from Market, and as you get closer and closer, further east, it starts to get extremely much more volatile. So all the general in this general area here is where you find yourself in a thick fight in the HK, and it's interesting that way because also the enemy knows. Well, it's usually able to probably put together that was a definite boundary. You get 2 companies, converging in on there. You get run into a serious geometry fire issue. So he can kind of stay put in there.
So was the enemy trying to take advantage of that boundary between Lima Company and Kilo Company as a possible weakness to exploit?
I think so. think so. And the way we counter that is definitely, trying to, not establish a boundary, kind of cross in between. And, there was a lot of, we worked out I know Captain Gannon and Captain Gibson worked out some coordination that, hey, if something happens, either one company will provide support, establish support by fire and hold firm so they can push through, they can assault through the enemy's fighting positions.